Throughout history, the world has witnessed the rise of formidable conquerors whose military prowess and strategic genius left a lasting mark on the course of civilizations. These conquerors, driven by ambition, political acumen, or a thirst for power, reshaped borders, established empires, and altered the destiny of nations. Here, we delve into the stories of 10 conquerors who, through their triumphs on the battlefield, have etched their names into the annals of history. 1. Cyrus the Great. The founder of the Persian Achaemenid Empire, Cyrus the Great reigned from 559 to 530 BCE. He defeated the Median Empire and embraced all of the previous civilized states of the ancient Near East, expanding vastly and eventually conquering most of West Asia and much of Central Asia to create the world's then largest polity. Cyrus is often regarded as a benevolent ruler, as he allowed conquered peoples to retain their customs and beliefs. The Achaemenid Empire's largest territorial extent was achieved under the rule of his successor Darius the Great, whose rule stretched from the Balkans and the rest of Southeast Europe in the west to the Indus Valley in the east. 2. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a king of Macedonia and one of the greatest military commanders in history. In a relatively short time, he managed to conquer vast territories, stretching from Greece to Egypt, Mesopotamia, Persia, and India. After the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, his vast empire was divided among his top generals, leading to the establishment of several Hellenistic dynasties in 3 continents, including Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt, Seleucid dynasty in Mesopotamia, Greco-Bactrian kingdom in India and Central Asia, and Antigonid dynasty in Macedonia. 3. Ashoka the Great. A patron of Buddhism, Ashoka was the 3rd Mauryan emperor of Magadha in the Indian subcontinent during the 3rd century BCE. Following his successful but bloody conquest of the Kalinga country on the east coast, Ashoka renounced armed conquest and adopted a non-violent policy that he called conquest by Dharma. Ashoka promoted Buddhist expansion by sending monks to surrounding territories to share the teachings of the Buddha. A wave of conversion began, and Buddhism spread to many parts of Asia. 4. Qin Shi Huang. Ruling China from 221 to 210 BCE, Qin Shi Huang was the founder of the Qin dynasty and the first emperor of a unified China. He annexed several rival states during his conquest to unify China. Some of the notable states include Han, Chao, Wei, Chu, Yan, and Qi. After unifying China under his rule, Qin Shi Huang implemented reforms in administration, economy, as well as philosophy and writing system. As he grew old, it is said that he desperately sought the fabled elixir of life which supposedly confers immortality. 5. Trajan. Considered one of the 5 good emperors, Trajan ruled the Roman Empire from 98 to 117. He is known for his military successes, including the conquest of Dacia in Eastern Europe, Nabatean Kingdom in Arabia, Parthian Empire in Mesopotamia, and the expansion of the Roman Empire to its greatest territorial extent. He used the bountiful plunder from the conquests to fund public works projects in Rome. These included a spacious new forum with 2 libraries and a massive stone column called Trajan's Column. 6. Attila the Hun. One of the most feared enemies of the Western and Eastern Roman empires, Attila led an empire consisting of Huns, Ostrogoths, Alans, and Bulgars, among others, in Central and Eastern Europe during the 5th century. He crossed the Danube twice and plundered the Balkans but was unable to take Constantinople. He also attempted to conquer Roman Gaul, crossing the Rhine in 451 and marching as far as Orleans. He subsequently invaded Italy, devastating the northern provinces, but was unable to take Rome. He planned for further campaigns against the Romans but died in 453. 7. Umar ibn Khattab. Reigning in 7th century Medina in Arabia, many historians consider Umar to be one of the most powerful Muslim caliphs in history. Under Umar, the caliphate expanded at an unprecedented rate, ruling the Sasanian Empire and more than 2/3 of the Byzantine Empire, stretching from North Africa to the border of India. After conquering Jerusalem, It is said that Umar had permitted 70 Jewish families to return and settle in southern part of the city. Persecuted as religious minorities and taxed heavily to finance the Byzantine-Sassanid wars, local populations of Jews and Christians often aided Muslim army to take over their lands from the Byzantines and Persians, resulting in exceptionally speedy conquests. 8. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, born as Temujin in the Mongolian steppes in 1162, went on to become one of the most successful and influential military leaders in history. He united the disparate Mongol tribes under his leadership and founded the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous land empire ever. Genghis Khan's conquests extended across Central Asia, China, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. Notable achievements include the capture of Beijing, the defeat of the Khwarezmian Empire, and the establishment of the Yuan dynasty in China. His descendants continued the expansion, with Kublai Khan, his grandson, completing the conquest of China. 9. Hernán Cortés. In the early 16th century, conquistador Hernán Cortés led an expedition that caused the fall of the Aztec Empire. He was part of the generation of Spanish explorers and conquistadors who began the first phase of the Spanish colonization of the Americas. After capturing Tenochtitlan, Cortés destroyed Aztec temples and buildings and initiated the construction of Mexico City. Moreover, he also made serious efforts to convert the indigenous population to Christianity. 10. Napoleon Bonaparte. Rising through the chaos of the French Revolution, Napoleon became Emperor of the French and conquered much of Europe. Napoleon's armies conquered the Iberian and Italian peninsulas, occupied lands, and he forced Austria, Prussia, and Russia to ally with him and respect French hegemony in Europe. The United Kingdom refused to recognize French hegemony and continued the war throughout. Napoleon Bonaparte finally faced defeat in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, but his military genius and administrative reforms had a lasting impact on European nations and beyond. These 10 conquerors, each with their unique strategies and motivations, left an indelible mark on the canvas of human history. Some conquerors may have positive legacies, while others are criticized for causing harm and suffering. Whatever their intentions might be, these figures shaped the destiny of empires and civilizations, leaving legacies that continue to be studied and debated to this day. What do you think about these conquerors? Can their conquests be justified? Tell us in the comments section, and do not forget to subscribe.